It tastes and looks gourmet, but you don't have to slave away in the kitchen to make it.
Yeah, Amy's putting together a red wine marinade for steak.
Let's get cooking with Becky.
Hey there, good morning and welcome back. Are you thinking about maybe doing some grilling tonight? Well, if you love grilled steaks, I'm going to show you a quick, easy marinade that'll just kind of take your steak to the next level. And I'm going to give this steak a quick flip. I'm going to use ribeyes today, but this marinade works on any kind of steak. And it'll really, tenderize a tougher cut of steak. Like if you're doing a flank steak, which I happen to love, or a sirloin, they really need a marinade to give them flavor and make them not quite so tough. Kind of break up that meat, so this marinade would be perfect. We're making a red wine rosemary vinaigrette to marinate the steak in, and it's just to die for. This marinade is going to make enough for about 4 steaks, so if you're just doing 2, you can cut it in half. But I'm using 2 cups of inexpensive dry red wine. Don't have to spend big bucks on this, but we're talking like a Cab or a Merlot, a bottle that's under like $5. Don't have to spend the wad on, a wine that's just going to be used to marinate some steaks. A little bit of salt and pepper, kosher salt and pepper. Got about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Just a little bit of balsamic vinegar to crank up that flavor. 3 to 4 cloves of chopped garlic. If you like a little bit of heat, you could throw just a little bit of red pepper flakes in there. And really the star of the show, besides the red wine, some fresh rosemary, and stuff is so good. You could also use dried, but fresh I think is just, it's so fresh, it's so good. So I'm just kind of taking off the stem there and just going to kind of give it a rough chop. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. There we go, right into the marinade. Now I've got my gorgeous, look at that piece of meat. Doesn't that look fabulous? My gorgeous boneless ribeye here, or whatever's on sale, but these happen to be, so we're going to go for that. Whisk that marinade together. And then just pour some of that right over the steak. Now, you can do this in a Ziploc bag, which is something I use a lot at home. You can also do this with in a large glass 9x13. Do several of these steaks. Just kind of line them up. One of the keys to really getting that marinade in there, though, cover this well with plastic wrap, and every once in a while go to the fridge and just give that steak a nice turn so that you're really getting it in there. Or if it's in a Ziploc bag, use your hands and just kind of move those steaks around in the Ziploc bag. So let that marinate, if you can, for at least a few hours in the fridge before grilling. So that's something you'd want to do this afternoon. And man, just that red wine in there. I used to use my grill pan, but you could certainly do this on your outdoor grill. Really just kind of kicks things up a notch. You could also reserve a little bit of that marinade, the stuff you haven't put on the steak, and boil it down, reduce it down, and make a nice red wine sauce. But I always like to garnish with, something that was in whatever you were making. So we're going to throw a little fresh rosemary on top, and I think you're going to love that recipe. Red wine, rosemary, marinade for your steaks. Recipe's on our website. You can also pick it up at any Festival Foods. We'll be back. Stay with us. You're watching Good Day Wisconsin.